Hey guys, this is Amarita, Smooth Hair Trends, and I'm going to be installing these locks. The locks with the rubber band around it, the ponytail holder around it, are the locks that the lady cut out, and these on the bottom are the ones that I combed out, and I did that because I wanted to make sure that I had enough hair to tangle when I entangled it with her hair. So this is the process that I'm going through with each one, and I'm starting at the tips and I am combing them out as I go, and it's a little tangly, a little tough to get through. They were well maintained. They didn't have a lot of buildup in it. The lady that asked me to reinstall them, these were her locks before I had to cut them out because she went through chemotherapy, and so she said when she got better she would get them reinstalled. So she gave me a couple pointers, that some of them were gray and they were mostly gray by her ear. I really felt special about doing these locks for her because I don't know, it's just something spiritual about it. Like, I was very respectful of her locks. I don't know what was going on, but I felt something. Don't know what it was, but I definitely prayed over the locks. I prayed over the lady, and you'll see later on in the video, like, I didn't even want to step on her hair. And even when I was cutting her hair, and we'll talk about that later, but I was cutting her hair, mind you, it's my first time doing it. Cutting her hair, I and it was falling on the floor. I didn't even want her hair to touch the floor. That's how I was about this lady. Like, I didn't want to put no bad energy, bad vibes. But anyway, this is me combing her hair, like each one. I thought it was gonna take like a couple of minutes, but it did not. It took me about 2 or 3 hours to comb out each one the way my OCD self wanted to have them combed out. So I'm just going to show this in real time. I'm not going to slow down anything. I just want you to get a good gist of, how much time it took, how much I like took my time. I took my time with everything. I wanted everything to be perfect. So this is just me untangling it, and so when I wrap it around her hair, which is probably about 2 or 3 inches long, and she wanted them in diamond parts. Diamond parts kind of hard to do, but I accepted the challenge, so I figured we can do something. So you can continue watching. So this is me separating the hair, front and back. So I'm gonna do diamond parts in the back, and then I'm gonna do diamond parts in the front. So it's gonna be a totally different grid in the front than it is the back. I'm pretty sure my hairstylist kind of know why, but this is me measuring out each little one. I'm like trying to make sure they all symmetrically perfect, and the nape is a little thinner than the rest, and it was a little confusing, so I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But this is pretty much done in the back. So here's me going ahead and putting it in there, ready to attach it, and I have this one little crochet needle, and I do not recommend just using a single crochet needle. You need the one with like 2 or 3. I'm gonna show that in a second, but I'm just showing you I did this with one little single crochet needle. Techniques are the same, but you would get more effective, more tighter, probably tighter lock, I guess you could say. So this is me, and I'm noticing that it's very skinny, and I'm like, this is a pretty big lock for this little skinny section right here. But so here's the needles I would have used. So this is what I found at the hair store. Anyway, so going back to what I was doing, I really needed those double needles and triple needles. It would have saved on time, but this is me. I have to make sure. I end up finding like a little method where I measured the locks. The locks weren't all the same size. Some of them were thin, some of them were a little thicker than the thin ones, and I'll show you later how kind of measure them out so it won't be like a heavy lock on a thin piece of hair. End up having to make her diamond parts, I think, bigger. So she has like, I think it was 83 locks, and I only put back, I believe it was 19 left, so whatever that averages out to be. But yeah, so I went ahead and retwisted each one as I went, and she did end up sitting under the dryer. But as I went along, I got better. So here's one of the locks where they were gray, so I chose a gray lock and installed it right by her ear, and I wrap it around, and then I kind of rolled it together, and then I go in and tangle it. This would have been a lot easier with a double prong needle, but I got the job done. I was a little impressed with myself, but I'll let y'all watch this in real time. So I'm checking and I'm digging and trying to tangle it, and I'm noticing it looks like it's budding. All of them was doing this, and upon observation, asking other people, it's supposed to bud. I had no idea. I thought it was supposed to be smooth, but I kept it moving because I didn't want to spend too much time on it. For this section, I slowed it down for you guys to show you how I measured them out. I'm holding up the lock to the real hair, and if it was at least close to half the size of the lock, I will go ahead and install it. But this one, I think, let's see, this one may work, but it looked a little thick, so I'm switching them out. See, I got her hair over there on the side, so I go through them and I take out the ones that's gray. I take out the skinny ones, so those are the more thin ones. Those are thicker, and I'm gonna see if this one will go. It's a little gray. It's a little grayer than the rest of them, and I'm feeling for, the density of the hair with my fingers and the density of the hair with the lock with my fingers. And I cut it. I was cutting it because, okay, this is gonna go to real time, but I was cutting her hair because I wanted the ends of the locks, the little bushy part of the lock, the combed out part, I wanted it to be almost the same as her natural hair. And I figured if her natural hair was about the same size as the locks, I could get it all together and uniformed. And it probably was my OCD, but Somebody told me that the more hair the better, because it'll have more to hold on to. But like I said, it's my first time doing it, and this is just all in my gatherings off of Instagram, of course, and a little bit of YouTube and a little bit of common sense. And this is what I came up with. But yeah, so you'll see on this one it'll bud, and I'm gonna let it play out in real time so you can see the progress of what it started to look like. And all of them made this little budding. So just continue watching and you'll see in a second.
Fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning. Stars shining bright above me. Breezes seem to whisper that sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me.
So yeah, you can see the budding at the top, and then I got these straight hairs just coming out, so I keep chucking it and hoping that it'll smooth out. And yeah, I'm worried because I'm like, is it supposed to be this bubbly right here? Apparently yes. So my client will come in the next couple of days. I'm sorry. And if I remember, I will definitely get her progress. It's been about 4 to 5 weeks since I did it, and I get to show y'all the progress of that. So this is the final look. Everything's in there. It looks a little stiff to me, but she went home and she added distilled water on it. Well, she sprayed distilled water on it, and it loosened them up. Also, I was told that you need to not oil them or wash them for the first 4 weeks, and you should do a complimentary update and retighten the locks. And here's my beautiful client before, and here's the after. Just gorgeous.